back to the channel, everybody. Today is the long-awaited day of releasing our Stage 1 package for the C8 ZR1. In this video, you're going to see the baseline horsepower and the amount of power this thing gained on just simple bolt-ons for a C8 ZR1. So let's get to this video and let's roll. C8 ZR1. This thing is already pretty badass from the factory. 1064 horsepower from the factory, and it just looks gorgeous. You have everything pretty much we've done to it. Our BD 1000 Stingray package matches to this pretty nicely. They run pretty similar times, but this thing has a lot more to offer as far as the gains that you can have from the factory. Forged internals, a nice clutch and engine package that we have here, and a really cool aero package with the wheels and tires it has. It's a really cool race car for the road course and a little bit of drag from the factory. You guys already have seen us do a full walk around and picking up the car when we bought it. And in this video, you're going to be seeing the parts that we're going to be putting into it as far as what we built in-house and what we're providing for our Stage 1 package that you guys can see. So let's dive into this video. Let's put this car in the dyno so you guys can see the baseline of it. And then we're going to be talking about the parts that we're going to be offering as a package for all you C8 ZR1 owners. I'm very excited to show you guys the build, and just the way it sounds is wicked. So let's roll.
This is the first dyno pool since 500 miles. What's your guess on the horsepower?
960.
960?
960 to the wheels. I've seen a lot of dyno videos already on these cars making more than 1,000 horsepower to the wheels, which is awesome. I think the weather is really in our favor today. It's like 45 degrees outside, 65 degrees in the shop. So that's good. 960 to 1,000. The only thing something that I really wanted to highlight though is that the dyno results you guys have been seeing online is just really a dyno pull. Nobody has shown you data and information, and I'm actually spending the couple hours that I need to extrapolate data so we can dissect what we're seeing, and also the gains that could be had with tweaking sensors and all that stuff over here to really maximize what we need to do. This specific video is not to do any of that. It's just to understand what we have, understand data, and then put the parts that we have, and then expand on the tuning side of it once we learn what we have and put everything in a sheet, put everything in a data, put everything in a spreadsheet to really understand what's right and what's not right, what could be better, what needs to be stayed as is, and what's already aggressive. So this thing is already amazing from the factory, but there's plenty to be had. We just really need to sit down and really understand it, but the dyno will really help us do that too. So in this data stream that we're going to be doing on this pool, we're going to check a few things. We're going to see ignition timing, throttle position to see if the throttle blade is actually opening all the way. I want to see the boost level, so intake manifold air pressure, and then I also want to see the turbocharger boost pressures to see if this matches or how close it does match, because it does have electronic wastegates, so it could be skewed depending on how GM has it set. Also, one thing that I am concerned about is intake air temperature sensor, so I have that logged. I want to see how the IATs here are on this car, how it could be improved, and what we have to offer to make sure that it does get improved, because we do have a lot of things that we're working on the fab side of it, and also in the CNC side of it that we are implementing on this car. And the best thing to do is just to test it and really find out where we lie as far as like the parts goes. We don't want to just keep throwing parts at it if it does not need it. So we don't want to waste the money of the consumer if it's something that's going to provide minimal gains.
We'll check on the first pool.
Yes, let's go. Okay, between run number 1, which is 966, all the way to run number 3 at 822, that's 140 horsepower loss. We're gonna cool the car back down, give it 20 minutes, and then run it again and see how we stack up on data. That is a little bit disappointing to see as far as the runs go. It didn't really replicate itself back to back to back, which is understandable on a boosted application. Obviously that does happen. But the good side of it, it leaves us as the aftermarket to put parts in it that we can upgrade on this as far as cooling goes and data that we can really replicate the numbers back to back to back. Knowing this now with the tools that we have open to us and also the data that we've gathered here, it really helps us to dissect what we can improve on and what we should be doing. Let's get to cooling down the car now and just back up one more run just to see if the suspecting data is actually proper, and then we'll get to the build. Let's go.
$946. What do you think about that?
Sounds good.
Pretty good for fourth run in?
Fifth? Was it fifth?
Something like that.
Just as suspected, cooling it down did bring the power back up. So 946, 793 after a 20-minute cooldown. Of course, if we cooled it back down like an hour, we'll be back to the very high 900s. So good data gathered today. Now let's talk about the parts that we're gonna be putting in the car and see how respectable it is based on the current baseline that we have to what we're gonna be adding, and then stage 2 come up next. So let's start with what we got and show you guys what we're doing and see how much power we gain. Alright guys, C8 ZR1. We already know that this car makes 1,064 horsepower crank. It's probably going to be making about 900 something wheel horsepower today in today's video. We're going to be dynoing this car, showing you guys how much power this thing makes stock, and we're also going to be talking about the gains that we're going to be doing. A couple of things we're going to be adding is this 49 state legal high flow cats that we actually have fabricated here in-house at Boost District. This is fully made in-house, and don't worry about the material. This is just all for prototyping. We're actually going to be having a steel flange made on both ends, and that works with OEM gaskets as you see right here, and also OEM sensors back in place also. Adding to this is going to be 2 stages of dyno testing. First stage is going to be after the baseline. Baseline first. First stage is just going to be testing how much power this thing picks up with just the high flow cats, and then the stage after that we'll be putting a cat back exhaust in place also. Let's take a look at this car real quick. We already have it apart right now, so because we already have been testing parts and what works and what does not. We've already tested several versions that we didn't really like, but I'm really excited to test this specific version because I think this was going to be giving us the most flow. We always test parts in our own cars as much as possible, so we don't have to be testing on other people's cars just as much as possible to avoid any issues or trickeries that we don't have to be seeing. So this hopefully is one of the closer to the final versions of the high flow cats that we're going to be testing. Do not have check engine lights. As soon as that's done, we're going to be testing the back pressures and the cat back in place, and we also have a couple more tidbits in the end that you guys are going to be seeing as a surprise on this car. This car has almost 1,000 miles in it. I've been driving it as much as possible. As you guys already have seen, we have moved to a badass new shop inside a racetrack because we are committed for performance, reliability, and efficiency on all our builds. Boost District has been a forefront of the C8 market, and as you guys can see right here. Let me do a quick 360. C8, 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 C8 everywhere. And we're committed. We're committed to excellence. We're dedicated to excellence. And I'm really excited on what 2026 unfolds for us. This has been a really big, crazy progress, as you guys have seen, from our small shop to where we are today. And I'm really excited to having our fabrication team in-house and just building badass parts, building turbo kits in-house, building exhaust parts in-house, building intakes and stuff like that. Taking a pretty big stride, and I'm really grateful for the support. So let's get to this building, show you guys what we've done, show the dyno first of the baseline, and then show you guys the final product with this installed, and then back to you guys, showing you guys the gains. Something that Justin did point out a while ago is that we actually made this specific special tool for the C8 ZR1. The sockets that you see that we work on the Stingrays actually do not fit in here, and we haven't really found a special socket. So something to also make us a little bit different than most. We're gonna give you the tools you need to work on your car. If you buy this pipe as a DIY and not part of our package in-house schedule, you actually are gonna get this socket with your high flow cats. As you can see right here, the socket fits in place, and you put your 3/8 socket right there, and you're ready to move on, or even use it as with a wrench, with a box wrench if you'd like. So if you buy the cat kit from us, you're gonna get the tool with the kit. To make it easy, you don't have to run to the store, you don't have to cut anything up, you have it right here. It's custom fabricated by Boost District by our team. So just a quick tip. Do a quick demonstration on quiet mode and loud mode. You can hear the turbo spool up a little bit now too. Okay. Hold on, let me get it. Woohoo! All right, guys, so I want to discuss the power a little bit and also show you guys the full transparency so you guys can understand the data that we provided. So when this car first got here, we dynoed it with 600 something miles, and we did notice a big power difference between the high flow cat and also the stock exhaust in place. When we dynoed it the first time, the car was very cold. And when we dynoed it the first time today, it was also very cold. We left it overnight on both times to get a controlled value stock to stock, so there's no variables like temperature outside or anything like that. For the first run, on very cold, it made 952 horsepower and 790 torque. Today, with a high flow cat only, it made 1041 and 818. But the thing is, if you notice right here, there's a big bump in the torque from down low. It's getting a lot more burst of flow right after the turbo. So that means that the E-gates are definitely showing a little bit of pressure on the end that really gives it a big spike on top. We did start the run all at 2500 RPM and 3000 RPMs to make sure that we have all data proper selected. And that's what we're seeing. So when we started the run at 2500 RPM, you can see that big bump. When we started at 3000 RPM, you can see the bump is still there, but it's not as much. Same thing when we ran it at 3000 RPM at 1031 horsepower. You can still see that the numbers do track. There is still a bump in horsepower compared to the red that you see right here. Let me show you guys that data so you have it in front of you. So, oh, that's a lot. A lot of numbers. Let's find it. So on the red, it's showing 652. And on the blue, it's already showing 751. So that's almost 100 horsepower and pressure differences when you start the run in the same time. That's just because the turbos are able to spool a little quicker, even though the run start is the same. So that's the data that we have. Just for full transparency, we did double check that the bleeding of the coolant system was done. It did show a little low. So I don't think that we actually lost almost 140 horsepower off the bat. I feel like we just had a lower coolant from GM when we did it. So I want to add that in here because we don't want to give any false hope on false gains. A lot of other dyno numbers out there have already been done. They did show somewhat of a power loss on the car throughout cold to hot, which that's why I was a little worried when I saw 140 horsepower gain. So we rebled the coolant system that when the car came in. Just remember, we haven't done anything to this car besides drive it and put it in the track and drive it more and put it in the dyno. And then now we put our high flow cat in it and test it again. So I'm here for all complete full transparency. But as you can see right here, from cold to cold, which is what matters, from when you're cold to when you're cold now. When we logged it the first time, it did show coolant flow. When we logged it today, it did show coolant flow. So that number is the same. We did gain almost 80 horsepower on the dyno, but take that with a grain of salt just because there might be probably 15 to 20 horsepower that might have been gained because of the coolant flow, regardless it was cold. So keep that in mind. With that variable of a degree or two of timing, which is still 15 to 20 horsepower, you could say gain is still 60 horsepower, not 80. So that's what I want to try to express. That is our level 1 cat. We do have a level 2 cat that we're going to put in place that will show you a little bit more gains. We are not doing D-cats. We're not doing cat deletes. That's not what we stand for. We want to be in business for decades. So we're going to keep it legal. I want to provide catalytic upgrades for you guys that you can drive anywhere in this country and be comfortable that you're not going to have a problem with the law. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We have a second video coming with this car with our colder intake and also our catback exhaust. So I'm grateful for the support for everybody that we can at least play with these fun cars. If you guys like this video, smash that like button. Share this to anybody that has a C8 ZR1, or if you don't have one, if you like this video, at least like it and share it. And we're gonna keep messing with these cars and for you guys to see. If you guys have any other cars that you guys want us to see in this channel, drop it down below. I want to see it. Low key, I kind of want an S650 Mustang to mess with. So I know that's a little bit on the dark side, but if you guys want to see something like that in the channel, I'm open to all different platforms. I just want to know what you guys want to see and what you guys want us to work on. So we'll see you guys in the next one. We'll keep up with the updates on our social medias and down in the comment section below. See ya. Stay boosted.